Afternoon, everybody. How's things? Oh my goodness, it's Friday already. I can't even remember the date actually. So what we got? 23rd today. Goodness me, time's flying by, isn't it? It's one of those things that we don't sort of realise until you look at the date or the calendar and you think, goodness me, what's going on? So yeah, gosh, almost there. Actually, next weekend is May. And that really shocked me because obviously, you know, I'm getting emails and things. People saying, oh, you're doing a show on such a day. You're like, no, when's that? Oh my goodness me. It's crazy. So, all right, we're all good today. Oh, thank you, Tracy. I'm all fine. Yeah, it's a good day. I must admit, I must sort of say though, little Benji had to go in for his little op yesterday. He's fine. It's something we've had to do because, you know, little boy's problems. But yeah, so the post didn't go out yesterday because obviously I was at the vet's picking him up and he's feeling a bit sorry for himself. So I'm going to get to the post office after I've done this. So I do apologise if everybody was anticipating waiting for your post this morning. I'm sorry, but I'll get it out. I'll get it out today, so all's good. But he's fine. John's at home with him, so yeah, that's all good. Okay, so what we're doing today. Okay, I'm using a bright white tile today, but again, as always, you can use whatever colour tile you like. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to work with a regular pencil, a regular pen. So I've got my marker. This is the same sort of pen as this one, in case you don't know. It's just that Sakura have got their 100-year anniversary this year, so they've got these lovely black and gold versions of the pens, and it just so happens that in the pack I've got here, there's an 01, an 03 and an 05. They're beautiful pens and really nice to work. So, Tracy, is it a brightly coloured envelope? Because if so, yes, I have got it. It arrived yesterday. So, yeah. So, yeah, if you've got your regular Sakura 02, then that's absolutely fine. Of a string is something we use as a guide. It just helps us along a little bit. So, it doesn't really matter which way you do this, but we do want a swirly kind of string. Oh, no, Chris. No, Benji, bless him. So, yeah, keep it light because we're not wanting to see this afterwards. So, okay, I'm going to sort of start here and I'm going to sort of take it up and around. There we go. And I'm going to come back round here. So it's a bit like I don't know, if you look at it like that way, it's a bit like a letter S, isn't it? You could do it whichever way. Oh, there we go. Oh, hello, everybody. It's lovely to see. Oh, Lynn, sorry, I was just looking up because I could just see your message just appeared there. It's what size pen are you using? I do tend to use 01s, 02s and 03 for thicker lines, but I wouldn't go any more than that. It's something you need to try. Okay, right, back in with a pen then. All right, so I'm going to sort of start at this bottom edge. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Oh, hi Debbie, hi Barbara. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm going to sort of follow the line to go with. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm going to go up so far. And I'm going to come off, see, like this, okay. No, there isn't a border. I've done what we call a string. Hang on a second. There we are. Okay, yeah, the ones in the introductory kit, Lynn, are there's sort of an 02, 03, depending on how hard you press. So you can get a thicker line if you press on, but a nice fine line if you just relax with it. So they're lovely, they'll be just fine. Okay, so there we go. So I've sort of come back on myself. So I'm going to now do another one of those, but I'm going to come off the back of this one about here. And I'm going to come on round. I'm just going to make that a little bit. Yes, it follows in with the line. All right. Okay, I'm going to do another one again, just off the back of that one there, look. All right. in and around. There we go. Now you can see if I just make it a little bit bigger here. There we are. You can see where that sort of string of that pencil line started. It's just a guide and it's sort of working either side of that line. So just so you can get... yeah. Oh, Lynn, if you need the... If you're wanting the Sakura ones, these ones, I've got some on my website. And I put a pencil and a tortie on with mine as well. So if you want them, they're on there. Okay, so there's that first one then. So I'm just going to follow the line around. There we go. And I'm going to come on back around here. And I'm just going to create a little hook again. But I'm going to go this way. Okay. And then back around. And joining back in with that line. Okay. And then again, along and down, just following in with that line again. And then in around. I see we're having a bit of a problem with the internet today. Mine's, I don't know, it's been up, it's been round, so I don't know if it's mine or not. Mine's been here, so. Okay, I'm going to come around. I'm going to do one this side. Oh, there we go. See, a little bit larger. So I'm not trying to get them to be the same size in any way. We're just using that same sort of curve pattern. There we go. And again, just see off the back of this one. I'm going to come around. Now, just when you're doing this, just be careful that you don't press on too much. Just sort of let the pen do its job. And if you find that it's putting a little bit of pressure on, then just turn your tile. See, so I can bring it round. So there's no pressure on that pen. Okay. And back in and down. There we go. Okay. So let's bring another one in. So I'm going to come on up, following that line again, and curve. You see, I'm not worried about the space in between it. It's just taking each one as a separate sort of entity in its own mind. There you go. And then around. Okay. And then another. If you want to do 4, you can do 4. You don't have to stick with doing the 3. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. Okay, so this time, because I'm sort of on a curve, I don't really want to come back out here. I'm following that curve a little bit, so I'm just going to come on up here, and I'm going to bring one out here. There we go. And back in. See, so it's not sort of opposite this time. It's gone a little bit further up. And then again, there's that extra little shape there. And then another one. There we go, a little shape there. Okay, so it's sort of flowing around this curve and then back up and around here. So let's follow it round. Okay, so again, I'm going to come on in here and then up and around again. And then back on itself, joining that line. Okay. And then again, let's add one of those, the back of that one, and then another, the back of that one. Okay. So I think this weekend's going to be a little bit busy. A few new bits and pieces to sort, but also got my tile swap to do. I know Leslie's done hers, so there's pressure on now. I've got to do mine. So, yeah, if you've got some chance and you want to give it a go, that'd be quite nice. Just have a watch of the video. It gives you the instructions that you need. There we are. Okay, so we see here now that this line sort of, it's been worked over. I think I still want to come in and do another one here. So I'm just going to take it, see, off the top of this, but I've still kept on that line. Okay, and then back round. There we go. And then of course, again, off the back of that. There we are. And then to this one. Okay. All right, I still think I'm gonna get one out here, I think. I'm just gonna do a slightly smaller one. So you see, if yours fits in and you can get another one in there, then go ahead and add another one in here. But as we can see, mine's sort of right on the edge there. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's see where that started. So we can still sort of see that letter S shape there. It's quite nice. And I think I'm gonna, shall I leave it at that? Yeah, because there's other bits and pieces I actually want to add in. So yeah, let's leave that particular area at that. So, okay, I'm going to come in now, starting at this bottom edge again. Let's have a look. There we go. And I'm going to come on in, and I'm going to add another curl there. You see it's a bit spirally in the side there. And then just going to thicken up that section there. Okay. All right. So let's add a few of those in. So let's work my way round. Let's bring one in here too. So again, there's that little spiral shape. Oh yeah, I never thought of it like that. Fish, it's yeah. We've been on a bit of a sea theme this week, haven't we? It's felt that way. I think it's whatever you see in it. It's quite nice to include little bits and pieces, isn't it? There we go. Okay. So in and around this one. And then back in. Okay. So I'm just sort of doing one of these curls at the base of each one of these are the little patterns I've added in there. And again, just sort of adding a little bit of weight to that section there. And of course, following it round and into this one. There we go. And then this one. Okay. And there we go, just filling that little bit in. And then almost there. There's one in here. It's that little swirl again. And then back around. There we go. And I'm also going to have one on that side. Okay, and just again, fill that edge. There we go. Okay, let's have a quick look at that, see where we're at. Okay, so we've got this lovely sort of, it looks like they're little eyes now, doesn't it? It's lovely. Okay, so just before we move on with this next section, I just want to show you, if I can, the tangle we're going to do, because I know sometimes you get a little bit stressed with this one, so let's get it right to start with. I'm going to go large. So remember, we've just done a curl, haven't we, like this, but we've put a swirl in it, like so. Okay, so if we do the same thing, but instead of doing this swirl in it, I'm going to stop there. All right, so exactly the same as what we've just done, but I've stopped it here instead of going around with that swirl. And then what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to go a bit larger just so we can see this. I'm going to go from here to here, but in a curve, you see, so it comes back to nothing. So let's just watch that again. So from the bottom, working my way round and stopping there, okay? And then back down to join this here. All right, so yeah, big commas, Chris. But again, let's do it the other way. So same again. So you notice that I'm always starting from that bottom point and then back again. All right. Okay, so let's move that to one side then and come back to our tile. So I'm going to start here, this bottom. Shall I start this bottom edge? Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come up and almost like I'm creating that curve again, but stopping there. See? And then bringing it back to nothing. Okay? So then I'm going to come this way this time, up and around, stopping, and then back down. Okay? So I'm going to do a few more. I think I'm going to bring a couple in here. So back up and around, and stop at that point, and then back in. Okay, so we get the idea now. So this time I'm doing a smaller one and sort of coming back to here. Okay, let's have a look at that, see where we're at. So you can see where it starts to sort of build. Okay, now because I've got 2 here and 2 here, I think I'm going to change this one a little, and I'm going to bring another one out from here and make that into 3. So again, stop and then back down. All right. Yes, Nancy. It's one of those, I think, that it can be a little bit scary if you're not sure, or if you don't quite get it the first time, you know, getting those points either end. It can be a little bit off-putting, so I like to spend a little bit of time. Okay. Oh, Lynn, that's the name of the tangle. Mooka. Okay, see there? Like I said on the last video, I don't tend to use names a lot because I'm gonna have a large one, because I'd rather you focus on being able to do it rather than worrying about what it's called. And then back in. Okay. So from here then I'm going to bring in another one here. So it depends now on your space and where you want to put these in. Whether you want to go large, yeah, of course the big commas, or whether you want to do some small or a mixture. See? Then back round. Yeah, all these, the patterns that we use, they all have names. But say, I'd rather you learn how to do them rather than worry about what they're called. There we go. Oh, Catherine, that's great news. I'm sure it'll be fabulous. And you know, we always say there's positivity in every single one. And of course, we all have different styles and different tastes, don't we? So it's not about that. It's about how somebody's spent the time to create something and then send it in so it can go to someone else. I think it's a lovely little idea. I'm glad we started it. Okay, see that one there? It's just gone underneath there. All right, let's have a look. So yeah, not looking too bad. Now you can notice I've not put lots in because of course there's other things we can do with this. So I'm just going to add another one here. See, I've got a bit of space, and I'm not afraid of leaving the space, but it's nice to actually add a few extra bits and pieces in. You see, I'm going to bring another one up, going under there. There we go. So that one we could even bring it underneath, look, so it's sort of working its way underneath there. Okay. And again, I'm going to have one coming up from the middle. There we go, into there. All right, not... Oh, is it, Julie? We're putting zingers in, so what happens then? Okay. Before we do that though, you might notice some of the little ends, let's have a look, or where they join. You see they sort of have this little extra bud on kind of thing. I'm just going to come on in now and just add a bubble in. And we can just add a few different sizes and just sort of filter them off a little bit. And that just neatens up that little area there, you see? And same sort of here, look where we've got this connection. Just gonna, you see there I've got a whole section completely filled there, so I'm going to come on in and fill the whole thing with bubbles. And then where I've got little gaps, I'm just going to come on in and fill that up with black ink. There we go. Alright, so let's have a look at a few more of these. So here we go, we've got this one here. So again, I'm going to add in some of those little bubbles. You see, I'm not going to overdo it, just that bottom edge, and then they're almost like trying to get away. They're blowing off in the wind. So quite close together to start with. And then just sort of let them trail. Of course, any extra little bits that you can't put a bubble in, just fill with black. Alright. See, I'm not gonna, yeah, I think let's just sort of, it's not that it's a rule, but just so we know which and where to put them, I'm gonna probably put a little bit in every one that we join to. So see down here. You see this one, it's a solid area, isn't it? So I'm gonna add a couple of bubbles there just to get me going. Alright, I think I'm going to add in, I'm going to follow this curve here. I'm going to add in some stripes just to fill that area. Okay, so we know what we have to do when we've got stripes. I'm going to come in with a thicker pen. So where's that 05? Here we go. So you notice, if I show you this, look, the 05, look at the difference in thickness. Yeah. So I'm going to just fill in this one here. Because I'm using a thicker nib, it's just going to be a little bit quicker. And it's not going to put any pressure on that narrow nib, is it? There we go. Yes, Pat, it is. Leslie's in the house. Tea time. It's okay. Again, here, look, you see I've got an area all completely covered. So, again, I'm going to bring in those bubbles. There we go. And just add that little bit of black on the edge there. Alright. So again, just... So I've got quite a narrow area there. I'm just going to fill that with bubbles. I could have gone in and just coloured it in, but because it's quite narrow, I'm just going to put some bubbles in. It's just nice to have a bit of a contrast. So there we go. Just filling in those areas. Okay. So again, just bubbles. And again, they're just breaking away into the distance. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything there because I quite like that, or maybe just a couple. Alright, so here we go again. So again, I've got a space here. It's a small space. See, that was quite large. This is quite small, so I could go in and add the bubbles again. But, let's add those stripes. It's up to you if you want to come in and just work the bubbles, it's fine. I just think it's nice to add a little bit of contrast. So let's just fill it with those stripes there, and then again, come back in with that 05 and fill it in. Okay. So working it around, there we go. Just adding in those little bits and pieces there. And a few on that side. Okay. So working my way around. So again, just at the base there, just sort of starting a bit of a cluster and then them out. And then there we go, just working my way around. Okay, let's have a look at where we're at with this then. Okay, so working it out, where did we even start from? My goodness me. We sort of started here, didn't we, and worked our way around. You can just about see that swirl still, but as we start to sort of build, it gets a little bit busier and a bit busier. Now, of course, you could stop at this point if you wanted to. You see here where we've got this stripe, I'm just looking at this area here, and we could probably do a similar thing and just fasten that one off there. Just go on in. Thank you, Leslie.
You're welcome.
Just add in that stripe there too. Just gives it a little bit of interest in that area. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's just... Oh, I know, Lynn, I'm working on it. I'm working on a venue. We are, as we speak. So, okay, let's have a look now. We've got quite a section here in the centre. Well, it's not the centre, but you know what I mean there. It's, and I think what I'm going to do is do what we call an aura. So I'm going to draw round. See, I'm not going to go in there. I'll do something with that in a little bit. Just going to draw around this larger space, just leaving a little gap around what we've already got there. Okay, and just follow around. There we go, see, into there. Okay, and then to this one, and this one here, and just sort of keep a sort of an even difference or distance around that shape there, just so we've got that. So we've got a little bit of space there that we can work with. So, of course, you could fill it with bubbles, you could add stripes, but I think it'd be nice to do something different. So, let's come on in and let's think about the tile swap and the tangle, or the pattern that we've used for that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill it with lines, and then if you've got a line, and each time I actually come to a line I've done before, I'm just going to go underneath. Just keep turning it, so I'm sort of looking at it from a different perspective each time. So we get something a little bit different. See, that's going to go underneath and into there. Okay, let's have one in here. So again, this, okay. So we've got this little design going on. Let's just make that a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay, so we've got this lovely little sort of pattern within a pattern now. That's fine. Okay. So let's have a look. We've also got, we talked about, we got it going. Oh, missed a line there. Just going to finish that off. There we are. Carried away there. So we've got a little gap here. So again, if I just come on in and aura, see that's that side and that side there. And then as if that's having a little bit of an impact. I've got somebody that's calling me that doesn't want to call me back, basically. Okay, all right. So again, I'm just going to fill this space with bubbles. There we go. Okay. And then we've got another one here. Just going to work into this section. Okay. And then let's just fill that one in with bubbles. Okay. You see any areas I'm just going to cover with black. And then I've got a little bit of space here. There we go. Oh, Alicia, please don't worry. Do you know what? Sometimes we are going to have those times, and the fact that you've carried on and done something I think, you know, I really appreciate that. I'm really proud of you because it shows you've not given up when you've tried it out. So there we go. Okay. So with this space again, we can do stripes. We could do the bubbles, but I think I'm going to come in with this pattern again. There we go. So you see, just stop the 2 lines, and then there we are. Okay. So let's just bring that one in and up. There we go. And same along here. Okay. And there's one in there. Okay, so we've got quite a bit going on here now, and I think it's possibly time. Let's just add a couple of zingers. So if you're thinking, what on earth's a zinger? There we go. I'm just going to bring this one up and in, and a little dot. There we go. And around. There we go. And then another. And in. And around. And let's have another one in here. Let's bring one out here. There we go. And again. There we go. One in here. And one in here. So you've got to be careful when you're doing these, that you don't get too carried away with them. Because yes, as I know, a lot of you love them. But if we're not careful, you might find that they suddenly a little bit like weeds, and they'll completely overgrow your. Working from there then. I'm going to come in now with pencil. The first thing I'm going to do, there we go. There we go. It's going to put some down the sides here of that stripe. Okay, so any other stripes I've got, let's just fill those in too. One there, see, keep in the middle without any, and then let's see, there's another one there. There we go. So yeah, I've been quite heavy with that, and that's good because it needs a little bit of weight in that there. So again, this little space we've done here, I'm just going to add some pencil around the outside edge, so it's sort of around that aura that I drew. There we go. Just working it round. There we go. Okay. All the way around. Now, it doesn't have to be particularly neat, don't worry about that. Just want to get a little bit in there. Okay. So of course then, what you could do here is the same sort of thing. Here, I'm going to not be as heavy with that one because it's a little bit smaller, and I want to try and keep the middle white or highlight there if I can. Okay, so let's have a look at these shapes. Oh, I've got a space there, look. Now, what could we do there? I think that one has to be filled in. So just making sure I'm coming in with the right pen here. It's amazing what you spot, isn't it? Let's do an aura in there. So again, you might find that you haven't got a gap there, so you can't fill it with anything. So I'm going to put bubbles in that one. So I've sort of worked between stripes and bubbles and more stripes today. It's whatever you want to put in there, you can change it about if you like. There we go. So here we go. I'm going to just add some pencil to the bottom edge here. Again, I'm going to be quite heavy. I'm not going to be too shy with it there. And then I'm going to okay, in there. So the same with the others. So, well, there's one there, look. One in here. There we go. And same here. Again, don't worry about being too neat. It's not what it's about. Same here. And adding in those little bits there. Okay, and the next one. And just adding a little bit on either side there. Same here. Okay. And into this. Okay. All right. Into these ones. Okay. All right, just sort of following it through there, just working my way around doing the same with each one of these little shapes. There we go, it's just adding a little bit of pencil to each end. Now of course, if you wanted to do this with colours, you can. If you wanted to do it with your pastels, you can. Might even bring a little bit of that in. Okay, so again, I'm just going to add a little bit into those. Just see, like it's almost like a little smirk on the side. Now it doesn't have to be the same side, you can swap that round if you like. Well, imagine it's got two little eyes there, it's sort of smiling back at you. There we go. So just a little bit. Okay. See a little bit on that one. Then of course the last thing we've sort of got is these little bubbles. Oh, so a bit there. Then we could go all the way around, or we could just come on in and just pick out a little bit on the curve there. See? And the same in there, just a little bit. Okay. And of course just a touch on here. There we go. All right, so let's bring that tortillon in and see what we can do with this. Quick sip of tea, of course. Okay, so let's start with the stripes. I'm just going to ever so gently just sort of soften the edge, but being really careful not to go all the way into the centre. See, I've got a white line down the centre there. Okay. Oh, I love the shading part too. This is like, say, it's like the little bit of magic that happens. It almost comes to life. It's fantastic. There we go. So that's the stripes there. Now, of course, I'm going to do this bit. And again, if I come around now with little swirls, you see that? There we go. Get my way around. You see, just in little motions, because we don't want to fill the whole thing. We just want to soften that edge, just to give it a little bit of shade in there. Okay, so again, you see I've got the white on the inside, but I'll just soften the edge there. Okay, let's find the next one of those. There we are, so there we, just adding in that little bit. See, just tidy that corner a bit. Okay, so let's have a look at these. Again, I'm not going to work from this bottom edge unless it needs a little bit of neatening, but it's about this bit here, and it's sort of going from the dark and bringing it in to the light. So we just touching that edge just to soften it enough that it sort of morphs into that white highlight there, see? So let's, I'm going to work my way around sort of systematically. And, follow that through there. There we go. So there's, you see there, it's a little bit darker. So if I just go in with my torch on and just sort of swirl it round, it's just going to smooth it all out a little bit there. There we go. Just same again here. You see, just need a little bit of work. See, because it's not quite on the edge. But then just sort of swirl it and just leave it shy of touching each other in the middle. There we are. Okay. Okay. Next bit. So again, same again. And the nice thing as well, I don't always sort of stop and look back at what I've done. I like to do all of it and then put the tortillon down and have a look at it. Then it may be that we come in with other things, but for now it's just sort of look at each little section as you go. It's something really, really nice to do, but I like to sort of see the end result rather than see it build. So yeah, okay. So again, just working on one bit at a time. I think that's nice sometimes as well. I just see the one thing and don't sort of try and overdo and do everything at once. Just a little bit at a time. There we go. Okay, I seem to have missed the whole conversation. I do apologise. I've been so focused on the tile. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, Pat, before you sign off, don't forget I'm going to do the owl on Monday. If you're around, just might not be an hour. It's just that I know somebody wanted to see how to do the owl with the open wings. So I said I'd do that Monday, just so you've got an idea. Okay. All right. Just sort of coming on in. There we go. And into this one. So again, not rushing this at all. Just enjoy the moment. Just sort of take your time with it. Just, go from one to the other, working your way around it. There we go. Same with this one. Okay. All right. So my oh, Lynn. Yeah, there's the owls are a good one because they start really, really simple, and then they get quite technical. So really, really hard. It's not that it's hard, it's just a little bit more technical, and I think you've got to focus. It's just getting that shape of the wing and where do you go from there, I think. So it's not hard to do, it's just I think with a little bit of guidance it'll be easier. So, I know there's a few people asked about that one, so I will sort that. Okay. Alright, now you see I'm just sort of working my way around now. I'm on these sort of little smirky shapes. I'm just going to do the bubbles as I go as well. And just sort of following around the curve, just sort of going the same way that I drew. And if it's a little bit tough, you can just sort of go around in swirls. And into there. So again, just swirling. Yeah, the owls are a nice one. I don't know which is my favourite, to be honest. I think they've all got elements in there that I absolutely love, and because you can mix them together, it's it. I don't think you have to have a choice. You can use bits from each, and then of course when you've got the frames and you mix the frames in. I think the lotus has got a lot to be said. It's I think that was the first of this particular concept, and quite a nice one to do. So there's so many different versions as well. There we go. So you see, just sort of working it round. When you get to those bubbles, just add a little bit in. Okay. All right, so let's have a look at this. Okay, hey, that's not bad. Okay, so where do we go from here then? What we're going to do now, we just need to bring it out a little bit. So, okay, I'm going to come in with my O2 pen. It's my regular pen. All right. And then I'm just going to go around that aura again. So remember that line that we drew to create that shape? You see already? Just adding in that line. It's almost like I'm redefining it. And there we go. And just sort of coming in and a little bit of depth to it. You see? I think actually what I'm going to do, I'm not even going to go all around the whole thing. I'm just going to go around that section there. See? I'll just leave this bottom edge. So I'm just done that bit there. And then of course, because I've done that on this one, I'm going to do the same on this. So again, I'm just going to sort of work it round. There we go. Up and around there. Okay, and I might just a little bit on this edge there. And little bits round here, just so you're getting a bit of 3 dimension there. You see the difference that's made? Oh, Jennifer, you're going to be addicted to those. They are really nice. Okay, so I'm going to come in with a black pastel. Now, I have been using this a lot. It's, oh, hi, Smoffy. I've not spoken to you in ages. I hope you're well. Nice to see you back. But yeah, it's here we go. I'm just going to come in. I am doing this a little bit more because it's like a soot black, and it just really brings that bottom bit. And you see what I'm doing? I'm going to go a bit larger. What I'm doing, I've started at the very bottom of that stem, and I've just pulled up a bit of pastel. So let's do it again. See from here now. You'll notice the difference. Just pulling in a little bit. You see the difference between one and the next? And same here. Yeah. Now I'm not going to worry about blending this in, although you can if you want to. I think it just needs that little bit of darkness there. There we go. Now I know you mentioned colouring earlier in the week, and I know Elaine, thank you Elaine by the way, messaged on about not using black when you're colouring in. That is one thing. I only use black within my Sanntangle. If I was colouring in a picture for real, look at the difference there, then I would probably not use black, because it sort of makes your colours a little bit cold if you're not careful. So okay, I'm going to bring another colour in there. I think I'm going to bring in a bit of purple. And I'm just going to sort of touch it. I said purple, it's sort of magenta-y purple, isn't it? A little bit on the edges. So where I've already added in the pencil, it's just on those edges, see? And same here. Okay, now I am going to blend these out, so I'm not worried about whether the edges are neat or not. Actually, they're better if they're a little bit rough, because they sort of blend in a little easier. There we go. Okay, so just following it round. Now, of course, you could use a different colour on these if you wanted. You don't have to use the same, or you could have left it with just the black in the middle. Go back in with pencil. There's a lot of options, depending on whether you want to keep it traditional grayscale, or you wanted to add a little bit of colour. There we go. Okay, so of course tortillon. Now because it's a dark colour, I can come in with my graphite-y tortillon and just work it out. But if you were using a yellow, something bright, you would probably want to use a clean tortillon. So that's fine. You could just use a nail file and just clean it off a bit. Okay, same here. You see, I'm just brushing it down, just sort of not trying to cover the whole thing, because again, I want to keep that white highlight if I can. And I think actually I'm going to come back in with that white pencil and just sort of make sure that that white highlight's in place. But let's do this first. Okay. Yeah, we talk about scams. Some people have no morals, do they? No. I've had a couple of we've got your parcel, you've got to pay. I've had a few of those. Of course, I get the HMRC ones, and you're a victim of tax fraud and things like that. You think, well, no, because it's not a HMRC email. You've just got to be ever vigilant, haven't you? Just make sure that you're thinking about things like that. Okay, So I'm going to bring in that white pastel. And just where we've got those highlighted areas, I'm just going to come back in with the white and just make sure, see that there is some white there to highlight. Now, of course, I could keep coming in with other colours on some of my other little patterns, tangles. I could change the colour of those and add those, but I think for today I'm probably just going to keep in with the one colour. You see here again, I'm not being particularly neat, I'm just sort of going over that area where we need a little bit of light. Okay, just I've done that, let's do that again. A little bit of a blow there, let's have a look. Okay, so let's have a look. All right, one more thing then with the white. Now, whether you want to do it with this, whether you want to do it with a pen. Here we go. When we do our stripes, we're going to do, and it's better to have it a little bit sharper maybe. They just come on down the centre. So I think I'm going to, let's have a look at that. See, that's a little bit too, that's not quite sharp enough for me. So let's use this one. That's better. Okay, nice white line down the middle there. Let's find another stripe. There we go, there's another one. See, it's always better to have one that's a bit sharper if you can. And one, here we go, one there. These are the three. Okay, so let's have a look. You see the difference there with that white. I think what I'm going to do, come back in with that pen, and I'm just going to go back in with the pen just down the side, see, of those little stripes. And this one, just to sort of a little bit, bring it out a little bit. There we go. And then there was one more, of course. Now be careful at this point, because of course if you've got a pencil there or pastels on there and you sort of run your hand over it, you're gonna find that you're gonna smudge it a bit, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so all right, that's as far as I'm going to take it today. And of course you could come in a little bit more and add a few more bits and pieces to it. You could add more colour if you want to. And of course, you know, doing something like this on a coloured tile really brings it out and makes it a little bit different. And of course I could have gone in and filled more of these sections in, but again, that's completely up to you as to where it's going to go. So let's have a look where we sort of first started. And I think, yeah, if I come back to it, here we go. This is the first one, and it came as a bit of a curl, so we can't even see that little string that was there anymore. But it's not necessary, we didn't need it. So it's completely random today, but really organic, and I know that's not what everybody likes, but it's, you know, it's one for the book, isn't it? So hope you like it. I'm just going to put my initials on, I think. I'm going to just put it on here. So of course, as I said, I'm going to do another video, another live on Monday, and I'll sort of go through how to draw the owl and how to put the wings on. You know, the one at the back of the stencil boot that looks a bit scary but isn't. So yeah, I'll do that at 2 o'clock on Monday. If there is anything else that anybody's sort of not sure of, then if you message me, and if I can sort of fit it in, I can do a quick show as well. So it's a little bit like a, you know, a bit of a show and tell if you need to. So if you want a little bit of advice on something, I can put that in, and I will do so. But other than that, have a go at this one. Let me know how it goes on, of course. And all being well, see you Monday. But yeah, have a lovely weekend, everybody. And I'll see you soon. You take care. Bye.